Known as the city by the bay, San Francisco thrives as a gateway of trade, opportunity, and cultural expression. But where did its unique character come from? From the Golden Gate Bridge to the dramatic hills and infamous Alcatraz Island, the answers lie in its history, landscape, and distinctive geography. Sitting at the mouth of an ocean and the edge of a continent, San Francisco is an urban center unlike any other.
People come here because of the glamour and the mystique of San Francisco. Now it's just, it's one of the most interesting cities in the United States. And certainly it's one of the most European.
While often strikingly beautiful, San Francisco's extreme topography is a challenging setting for a city. San Francisco covers 49 square miles of hilly, rocky peninsula with elevations spiking 900 feet above sea level. It has 43 hills in total, some of them sloping at severe 45-degree angles. The hills are so steep, pedestrians need built-in stairs to climb them. This dramatic landscape is underscored by a distinctive climate that creates a literal and figurative mystique.
I find that the hills and the mountains, they had a certain mystery, not in the Sam Spade type of mystery, but the idea of that your landscape is foreshortened. The mountain forms a boundary. What's on the other side of the mountain? What's on the other side of the hill? What's on the other side of the bank of fog? There's a bit of the unknown, the constantly changing, that leads to discovery. It leads to a feeling that there's more out there than we physically have a handle on at the moment.
San Francisco's chilly fog is legendary. Mark Twain remarked the coldest winter he ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. But what causes this extreme weather? The dense mists occur when warmer condensation off the Pacific hits the city's cold water coasts. The fog rolls in from everywhere, blanketing the city.
I gotta tell you, for growing up in it, it wraps you up and time stops, literally. From 6 in the morning till 8 at night, you can't tell what time it is. When you grow up with constant overcast, there's no shadows, no sense of time going by. It's sort of sensory deprivation. When you're away from the fog for a long time, you miss it. The combination of the fog and the fog horns is a very powerful combination to San Franciscans.
How did this unlikely terrain become a boomtown? It began at the waterfront. During the gold rush of 1849, San Francisco became the port of entry for hundreds of ships depositing 200,000 fortune seekers from around the world. In 1 year, the city's permanent population went from 400 to 25,000, and while little gold was found, the city's fate was sealed. It became a booming gateway of trade, with an adventurous, free spirit.
The city grew up unexpectedly, unplanned, rowdy. In many cases, it was lawless and dangerous. And with it came sort of a feeling of tolerance and acceptance and bravado that seems to have carried on through the present time. And even if all those stories of frontier San Francisco seem to heavily through rose-tinted glasses, just the legend of that seems to fuel people who call themselves San Franciscans today, even if they just moved here 5 minutes ago. They seem to want to participate in this lore and this legend. There is a tremendously larger degree of tolerance and acceptance in San Francisco of various ethnic groups, various races, various cultures, various languages, now various sexual orientations. And I think it can trace itself back to the city's unplanned and kind of claptrap origins of the gold rush and the unexpected westering that happened when people just poured into this harbor.
For the city to develop beyond its piers and ports of call, San Francisco's extreme landscape had to be conquered. The cable car, unveiled in 1873, was an ingenious solution. An elaborate, entirely mechanical network of trolleys, tracks, and brakes. As hoped, the engineering marvel spurred the gateway city's growth, turning San Francisco into a workable urban center decades before the automobile.
To the right, Golden Gate Bridge, Golden Gate Bridge. Sorry, it's fogged out. Just gotta believe me, it's there. It's there. Lombard Street, crookedest street in the world, Lombard. Lombard, try the rear. It's kind of foggy today, but usually you can see the East Bay. Berkeley, the Bay Bridge, Port Tower. My name is Leonard Oates. My nickname is Big O. Everyone on the cable car has a nickname, and mine is Big O. I'm a gripman on the cable car. I'm not a native of San Francisco. I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I came down here in '87. It's a classic culture. Started back in 1873 when they built the first cable car because of the horses couldn't make it up the hill. They had more lines than what they have right now. It's lines all the way to the city. They had cable cars going all the way down to the beach. And now it's not just for tourists. People take the cable car to work every day. So we try to leave room for the people that want to go to work and get off work because they live on the line. They expect you, to go home. And so we try to leave a little room, or we try to make a little exceptions for them to get on. They're not standing in the exact area, but we know they know what to do. They're not tourists, so they won't fall off. A lot of people ask a lot of questions. How does it work? It work off gas? No, it doesn't work off gas. It works electric? No. It's a manual cable under the ground. And I have to let the cable go at the top of the hill because the cable goes inside here. And I pick up a different cable down here. So that's the high cable back there. And up here, I pick up the power cable, goes downtown. Yes. Okay, coming up, Chinatown. 2 blocks straight ahead, Chinatown.
There are currently 40 cable cars in service, covering more than 57,000 feet along 2 main lines. For municipal railway employees, operating a cable car is a highly coveted position, one that requires precision and skill.
When I started the cable car, I got over here on a bonus, on a plus, because they told me when I started, you won't never get over there in 5 years, but I got over here my first year, and they told me the failure rate for the first 3 days is 95%. And so a lot of people that came over before me everyone came back the same day. So I was like very nervous the first day. It's not an easy task. There's no buttons to press. It's not like anything you've ever done before. There's no steering wheel. It's all levers.
Without the camera, right? No, with the camera.
I was saying it ain't easy, but we love it because it's not a job everybody can do. And you can't be too big, you can't be too small. The way you have to grip the cable is very sensitive. Because the cable can grab. And when the cable grabs, it'll take the car off right away. So this is the fastest car from 0 to 9.5 miles an hour in the world.
As the cable cars navigate the hills and valleys of San Francisco, they reveal diverse, old neighborhoods and historic architecture, proof that during the 5 decades they reigned supreme, cable cars were a gateway of transportation, pushing the city limits in all directions.
Okay, coming up, California, Nob Hill, Fairmont, Mark Hopton, Ritz-Carlton, Stanford Court, Huntington, Grace Cathedral, Sir Francis Drake Grand Heights, Sutter, let them outside, Union Square. Okay, left side, don't get off. Left side, don't get off. Right side, get out of here. Left side, don't get off. Just wait till the cable car pass. And this is the end of the line. This is Market Street, BART Station, Muni Metro. You pay the gentleman?
As the last stop on the West Coast, San Francisco quickly became an American portal to the East. Home to the country's largest Chinatown, in the century following the 1850s, when the Chinese first came to build the railroads, San Francisco saw waves of Japanese, Korean, and Filipino immigrants. An already powerful financial center, the city was a natural gateway for Pacific Rim trade. Today, as an Asian American cultural outpost, San Francisco lures many immigrants seeking a new life, filled with reminders of home.
Hi, I'm Charles Fon. We're here in San Francisco at the Slanted Door restaurant, and I'm the executive chef. I was born in Vietnam. We left in 1975, and in 1977 we migrated here, and we've been here ever since. When we left Vietnam and we're in the Singapore harbor, we had a choice. There's 3 boats. You have a choice to go back to Vietnam, or you have a choice to go to Taiwan, or you go to the States. My parents chose the United States and subsequently San Francisco. One of the key reasons was this is the last stop, that you couldn't get any better place than the United States, the educational system and so on. Chose San Francisco primarily because there's a certain comfort level of knowing there's Asian. You definitely want to go places that your own groups are there. The fact that there's a lot of Asian culture here that attract us to move to the city. So we can get Asian food, so we don't have to live off grilled cheese sandwich every day.
Yeah, sure.
Each culture does promote itself to educate. In fact, this restaurant, it's not selling you just food, but it's selling you a story. It's telling you a story. This is Vietnamese food. This is who we are, and we're constantly selling you that idea, and hopefully you will buy off and find it interesting, and it will bring you to a different dining experience. The city as a whole really prides itself on different neighborhood, being in the Mission. So again, back to another continent, you don't lump all that in one.
Perhaps it's San Francisco's extreme geography and untamed gold rush origins that made it a gateway for social and political expression. One of the clearest indications of its commitment to this is the more than 600 public murals that cover the city. In the historic Mission District alone, some 75 murals can be found in a 6-block radius. The colors are bold, and the images powerful depictions of the trials and tribulations of urban life.
My name is Mona Caron, and I'm an artist who lives in the Mission District of San Francisco, and I'm also a muralist. I've been inspired by the fact that San Francisco has a pretty long tradition of mural making. In San Francisco, I feel like I completely belong. I've been here 12 years, but even on the first year, I immediately felt like I belonged here. I love walking down the streets where everywhere I look, there is, the mark of some artist or someone who has just made an imprint on the cityscape. A lot of the time it's murals, sometimes it's really beautiful graffiti art, there's everything in between. This is a city where people are free to truly express themselves and somehow are allowed to represent their communities in an artistic way. A lot of the murals in the Mission District have political themes. Specifically, usually there are paintings on the left. They depict certain social struggles, etc.
Beyond depicting the social struggles common to political art, in San Francisco, murals also tend to show the city as a place of tolerance and growth, an idealized vision of the gateway city's future.
Definitely, San Francisco is a place where I encounter a lot of people who spend time thinking of utopia, basically. So spend time thinking of an ideal type of society where we all somehow could get along better, where there's more social justice than there is in this world, etc. It's one of the things that is really particular to San Francisco is there's a lot of political activity, but there's also a lot of visionaries that, in a way more or less realistic, try to envision an alternative to the world that we live in. That's one of the things that attracted me to the city. The Market Street Railway mural is a mural that depicts Market Street through different eras and past, present, and future. And the different sections, it's basically one continuous bird's eye view of Market Street. However, it's divided into sections that show different eras and also different specific events that occurred in San Francisco history. I have everything from a celebration to a demonstration to a formal parade or an all-out riot with the police. I show how different than today it has been in the past. It's kind of like in defense of all of these kinds of uses of the street, that's what makes San Francisco a vibrant place to be.
A literal symbol of San Francisco as a vibrant gateway is its beautiful Golden Gate, one of the world's most recognized and celebrated suspension bridges. Completed in 1937, the 1,280-meter vermilion-colored bridge crosses the mouth of the Pacific, marking the last stop before Japan. It takes its name from the history and geography of the bay itself, and leads to another unmistakable San Francisco icon.
As people enter San Francisco Bay, Historically, as they came in by ship, the first thing they'd see would be the narrows of the entrance to the harbor, the narrows that were called the Golden Gate. Many years before the Golden Gate Bridge was ever built, it was the Golden Gate, and after passing through the mile-wide narrows, the bay opened up, and in front of them was the largest natural harbor in the world, and dead ahead, the island they used to call Alcatraz Island, today's Alcatraz. They built a lighthouse on the island during the gold rush, so the ships coming in wouldn't literally run into the island. Secondly, it was the perfect place to mount cannons in case of an enemy invasion. An attacking enemy had to go around Alcatraz, so it was the Cork in San Francisco Bay.
This cork quickly took on a history as colorful as any in popular lore, first becoming a military prison in the 19th century, and then in 1934, the most infamous fortress of the American penal system. It became the ultimate symbol of crime and punishment.
The Bureau of Prisons wanted to establish a prison within the prison system, a place where they could take the most hardcore convicts, the escape artists, the famous convicts, the troublemakers, isolate them in one place with the toughest security there was, and therefore reduce crowding in other prisons, and simultaneously give the prisoners in other institutions more of a chance at rehabilitation. The expression they used was, take all the rotten apples, put them in the same barrel, and nail the lid on. And that was the idea of Alcatraz. The people of San Francisco, I think, had a fascination with the island, and it was always in everybody's eyesight, literally, when they were on the bay, but they knew little about it.
But for some, Alcatraz was home. During its 29 years in operation, Alcatraz housed as many as 80 children. For Alcatraz residents, the fascination was with the glittering city that was always in sight.
My name is Jolene Babiak, and when I was a child, I lived on Alcatraz, a couple of years in the mid-50s when I was 7 to 9, and a year in 1962 when I was 15. I lived here because my father worked here, and half of the staff actually lived on the island. None of our parents tried to make us feel like we were living on a dangerous place. I never thought about it, really, in terms of my safety. My mother was putting me to bed one night, and I could hear the prisoners making noise up here. And they were not rioting, but they were yelling and raking their cups against the bars and banging on their beds or whatever they do. And I asked my mother, what was that? And she said, just the prisoners letting off steam. And, maybe she didn't sleep well that night. I did. I slept fine. I took her at her word, and it didn't bother me at all. When you walk out of the cell house and you see the entire city, it can just really take your breath away. So we had a beautiful, vantage point, a $1 million view in a low-crime neighborhood.
The promise of this gold rush boomtown continues today. The last stop on America's west coast remains a place of extraordinary natural beauty, social change, and vibrant communities. Standing as a beacon at the mouth of the Pacific Ocean, more than anywhere in America, San Francisco bridges the West and the East, offering a profusion of culture that is the true gateway of the future.
In Japanese philosophy, there's something called the borrowed landscape, the background that nobody really owns, but that sets the scene for the way life takes place. San Francisco with Mount Tamalpais, or just the hills themselves, Telegraph Hill, Nob Hill, and all. That's the background, that's the setting, that's the borrowed landscape that sets the tone of our lives. Does San Francisco provide its citizens a life less ordinary? Not by any planning, it doesn't. Beneath it all, it's pretty much people trying to get by, but getting by in some pretty remarkable landscapes.